Hey guys, welcome back to Michelle's STEM Journey. I'm Michelle and I'm here today with another AMC Problem of the Week video. This week's video comes from the year 2021 Fall, 10B Problem 14, but it can also be found in the 12B Problem 11, and it deals with probability. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get started. The problem states Una rolls 6 standard 6-sided dice simultaneously and calculates the product of the 6 numbers obtained. What is the probability that the product is divisible by 4? So for this problem, I'm going to use complementary counting to find the probability that the product is not divisible by 4, because there are only 2 cases, and I'll explain that further. But because there are only 2 cases in which the product is not divisible by 4, that's a lot easier, and so we can just find out that probability and then subtract this from 1 to get what we want, which is the product that is divisible by 4. So when a product is not divisible by 4, there are 2 cases, like I just stated. Case 1 is when the product is not divisible by 2. And that's because keep in mind that for a number to be divisible by 4, in its prime factorization, it has to contain at least 2 factors of 2. So that's where we get the 2 cases. Case 1 is when it's not divisible by 2, so that means that it has 0 factors of 2. And so that means that it is all odd numbers. And then the second case is when it only has 1 factor of 2. But let's just focus on case 1 first. So we need every number to be odd in this product. And so it says that Una rolls 6 standard 6-sided dice. Well, for each dice, the chance that we roll an odd number is 1/2. And that's because out of all of the 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 of them are odd, 3 of them are even. So that's 1/2 for each dice. And then because she rolls 6 standard dice, then we have to raise this to the 6th power, or you just multiply 1/2 6 times. So this gives us 1/64. And then the second case was when it's divisible by 2, but not 4. So that means that there's only one factor of 2 in the product. And so what this means is that we can only have one number that is divisible by 2 and the rest are not. So that means we need 5 odd numbers. And then one that's divisible by 2, but not 4. So let's go with the odd numbers first because we just did that. So we know that for each dice, we have 1/2 chance of it being an odd number. And so we have 1/2 raised to the 5th power because we have 5 numbers that want to be odd. And then we can multiply it by 1/3. And 1/3 is because there's a 1/3 chance that we roll a number that satisfies the second condition, which is that it's divisible by 2 and not 4. Because out of all of the 6 numbers, we have 2 of them that satisfy this condition, which is 2 and 6, because these 2 numbers are divisible by 2 but not 4. So it's 2 out of 6, and then we reduce that to 1/3. And then don't forget to multiply this by 6, and that's because there are 6 ways to choose the order in which the even number appears. And so we can multiply this to get 1/16. And so the probability that it is not divisible by 4 is 1/64 plus 1/16. And that gives us 5/64. And all we have to do now is subtract 1 minus 5/64 to get 59/64. So that C is our answer, 59/64.